people need to remember, this country was not built by government. This country was built by people. Government doesn't create prosperity. People create prosperity. And how do they do that? Well, when people exchange things of value between them, why do they do it? Well, I'm going to give you something of value because you have something that I believe will improve my quality of life or that is necessary to my existence. Guess what? When we make those exchanges, we actually create a ripple effect around us, and we start to generate new opportunities for other human beings. When government takes that dollar out of our pocket and gives it to somebody who's sitting in front of a computer in St. Paul, or let's just say they talk about jobs, builds a twin stadium, that might create a job for a short period of time, but it doesn't have that growth effect on your economy. It doesn't create prosperity by growing the economy bigger and creating new opportunities. It literally is just a short amount of time and it's gone. We need to have an environment that attracts the best and the brightest to the state of Minnesota like we once did back in the 60s and the 70s, where this was the land of opportunity. People who grew up here in the 60s and 70s will remember when we had the 3Ms, the IBMs, the Honeywells, the Univacs. Why? Because the business environment was appropriate, and frankly, Minnesota could not be a better place to raise a family and to live your life. This is the four seasons, all the different resources we have. The quality of life in Minnesota is, bar none, one of the best you're going to find in all of the United States of America, if not the world, which is why these people settled here. But the problem is, when you raise taxes, when you create unreasonable and unnecessary licensing requirements and regulation, when you make the cost of doing business uncompetitive as compared with your immediate neighbors and frankly across the country, those opportunities don't come here. In fact, it works against the creation of those opportunities. We need to get back to a place where we reduce the cost of doing business, which includes reducing taxes, but it also involves eliminating excessive and unnecessary regulation, eliminating restrictive permitting requirements, having some work comp reform, having some tort reform, doing things that will make this an attractive environment for private business, because in the end, that is what drives everything else that is Minnesota.